Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show.
It's not about spaceships.
If you don't schedule the show, then there's nobody here but us. Hey, what happened? Is there like another COVID thing coming out? Did they buy all the toilet paper behind you?
Christmas is canceled.
Christmas is canceled.
Yeah. Well, actually, like, it's funny. My buddy from the UK was like, I heard you guys don't have any items on your shelves. I'm like, I heard you guys don't. Like, he's like, well, I mean, it depends. I'm like, we're fine, bro. Like, the headline I read yesterday was, you're not going to be able to buy the polishing cloth for your iPad. I'm like, oh no. What the generations are going through right now. Like, it's way easier to get shit now than it was last year, but
wait,
I do.
People clean their iPads? I just go, I can't see.
I got a Cintiq. You know what that is?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a big screen you draw on, right?
It's like the screen from Pee-wee's Playhouse.
And every time I take, that's good call. And every time I take a photo of my art, I'm always like, I gotta clean this fucking thing, because I'm afraid people are gonna be like, look at the gunk in the thing. You're disgusting. I am. Yeah. Have you seen artist studios or not? Japanese artists are clean. Everyone else is.
If my desk is clean, I'm not doing my best work. That's all I know. I'm not putting myself into it. I'm prioritizing cleaning up over the art. But we right up front we have a request. Please, Rob, make Filoni impression.
I was told to never do that again.
No, but it's Filoni Jr. for the record. It's Filoni.
It's alleged Filoni, like alleged, yeah, Filoni.
Yeah. So
I'm a Filoni.
Yeah. I'm a Filoni Jr.
Sequel to Luca.
They hired him to make Clone Wars, but he just kept making Mario cartoons, and they finally had to let him go.
I'm better than Chris Pratt. That's for certain. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So yesterday I made the proclamation that I don't leak, I squirt. And then it turns out I have a little bit of a leak today. I wouldn't really call it a squirt. I really wanted to start the show with the squirt, but I just didn't really feel like it was. But it is still legitimate information, because I worked on spoilers last night.
Nice.
And and it's like, God, I feel like that one dude in the UFO stuff, like, there's a lot going on behind the scenes just because you guys aren't seeing it today. But that's how it's been the last week or so. It's been a lot going on.
You could just be making shit up. Like, when you tell me, I got stuff coming, that sounds more legit these days than just announcing fucking news off the cuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, so
yeah, and then I eventually give it to you. That sounds weird. That's not what I meant. But anyways.
Oh, before we start, I started listening to Crispin Glover's musical album from 1989.
You're welcome.
The Big Problem is great. I don't know. It's the fucking craziest. The Solution equals Let It Be the Solution. I don't know. It's the weirdest fucking name. And I'm going to tell you right now, the song Auto Manipulator is now my go-to karaoke song.
Yeah.
That is some wild shit, bro.
Yeah. He's great. He's great. Hello, Michael Papas. Yeah. So, anyways, been working on the spoilers, and like, this is one of those things where I feel like if you watch the show, you care when I can authenticate something. Not that it's my scoop. It's not. I'm not saying that. It's not saying that it's my scoop, but I can tell you 100% that Ezra Bridger is in the Ahsoka series. Like, and a lot of people will be like, yeah, okay, fine. Don't get mad at me. I'm not still in the scoop. Not trying to tell you something you already know. I'm just telling you now that you can tell me aliens are real, but if I don't see an alien, there's part of me that goes, I don't know. But I know that Ezra Bridger is in it. Hera is in it. Is Hera? I don't know if Hera was out there or not. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Hera Syndulla is in it.
Is that the Twilight?
Mm-hmm.
The one that was in Bad Batch, right?
Yeah,
That
the Green
episode.
Twilight. Yeah,
Okay.
she
Look,
is in
I
it.
learn. Pay attention.
You're learning, dude. You're a fucking nerd. You're
I
like,
self learn. I'm learning the computer.
yeah. James Tyler is all. Question for Jason: will Ahsoka reboot or retcon the sequel trilogy? You'll just see
How
it from
about nullify.
it nullifies it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what else did I mean, like I said, I got like a bunch of baby confirmations from my end, and just oh yeah. So Ezra, Hera, Sabine, and Thrawn. And I am not allowed to talk about casting today. I can tell you some things were kind of right and some things were not right. But I can't say I shouldn't even have said that. Probably I should have just left it alone. But I can't help myself.
Bing, text message.
But the one thing that I can tell you is that it is being prepped, right? The show is being prepped right now. Everything is getting ready to start moving on that one at full steam ahead, so to speak. Was that wait, Filoni Jr.? Are you my source, Filoni Jr.?
I'm just confirming or not confirming.
I can't because so here's a weird thing. For security reasons on my end, I can't tell you when it's going to start shooting. I'm not going to tell you that right now. But I can tell you it's going to shoot until late next year. So with that in mind, Ahsoka's a little ways away. You know what I mean? It's going to film.
We're going to replace Rogue Squadron.
Yeah, it's going to film in 2022 and it's going to film until late next year. So I imagine you don't see it until 2023. I don't know when the release date is supposed to be, but putting that out there, I know for a fact they are filming until late next year. So 1 year from now, they will be filming. They will be finishing filming pretty much.
I mean, it's been a foregone. I mean, has it been? I haven't heard anyone really talk about it.
Forlong protrusion?
Forlong. It's an auto manipulator. I can't finish the lyrics. Listen to that song.
It's good.
But yeah. So we're gonna get like Star Wars series and Star Wars theatrical film in the same year, right? So they're definitely on board with that plan. Like, does Marvel make all that possible? Really? Or do they? Do you think without the Marvel series and movies in the same year, they would we'll put a series out 1 year and then a movie the next to tie the satiate the appetites?
I mean, they got Kenobi and they got Cassian and they got Acolyte and they got Ahsoka and here's the interesting thing about down on my side of things. The crew is talking about working on 10 different Star Wars / Lucasfilm shows here. That doesn't include anything that could be done at Pinewood. I hear that they're like scrambling for space. They're trying to get more space. They're trying not space, but space to film and to make stuff.
Hey, there's plenty of.
And they're trying to they're trying to make more studio space, more volume kind of sets, and I don't want to overstep because I don't know what they're doing, but it sounds like we are going to have like Marvel amounts of Star Wars shows coming.
So when the Spirit Halloween stores close down, the volume moves in now.
Yeah, if you go, I pretty much, if you go to a Spirit Halloween store, September, October, don't go in October, but then go back in November, you'll probably see a Chewbacca or two, like making a Star Wars, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. But
why is Gina Carano working here?
Yeah.
Is she back in Star Wars? No. She just works at there.
You know she's super fucking rich. She's like from like a rich ass family, like super.
Oh, shocking.
Rich. Yeah.
You know. Oh
Yeah.
well. Now I really don't feel too bad. Like honestly, like
You
that was the
know?
one thing. I don't like people losing their paychecks because they make dumb decisions. But if they got money, then I'm like, well,
Oh
fucking
yeah.
whatever.
No, she's
But
totally cool. She's fine. It was like a vanity job at that point.
okay,
Yeah. But
whatever.
yeah, but the amount of work that is coming, it's like, so I would imagine we're going to start hearing legit rumors, not like oh, they're doing what is there, they're making the Wookiee TV show, they're making the Jawa soap opera. It's just what,
Marvel.
no, yeah, just like whatever, whatever idea they have that they could throw at the wall, like a lot of those sites do. And the Facebook side of things, God, they take it every single time, hook, line, and sinker. Oh my God, dude, they're making like, who would it be, Talon Card, making a Talon Card spin-off show, and it stars Jeff Bridges as Talon Card, and they'll eat it up and they'll share it on Facebook, and then those people are like, AdSense money, I'm getting that AdSense money, I'm gonna spend it on pornos, BB guns, and honestly, my mental health. I'm gonna see an online therapist, but I'm still gonna get the porno magazine, and I'm still gonna get the alcohol, and I'm gonna threaten to shoot the therapist with my BB gun, but we're not in the same room because it's online, so that makes it safe. But
It's airsoft now. It's not beef.
yeah, I don't know. I can't really figure out. I can't really figure out the like, I don't know. It's just really weird. It's really weird that people will like make stuff up for AdSense money, and like, I guess when Mike Zero isn't really your real name, I guess it's not so bad. You're like, oh yeah, it's not me, it's Mike Zero, the character I play. Why?
Is that who that is? I've never listened to him, so
No,
I
I wasn't.
That sounds about right.
No, I was just generally making a dumb voice. Okay. Yeah, Mike Zero. I can't do an impression of him, but yeah.
Didn't do a completely wrong impersonation. That's when you can't get close, get as far away as possible.
Okay. Like, here it is. They're making Star Wars Episode 10. When they make Star Wars Episode 10, Luke Skywalker looks up to the skies and pulls a Star Destroyer down with the Force, but this time it's played by Jeff Bridges. That's what I see when I see his thumbnails, anyways.
Like his thumb butt?
Yeah.
Oh, the YouTube. Okay.
His front butt.
Okay.
Mike Zero front butt is a lie too.
So he's just picking fights with me, Wards.
He's getting he gets the collagen lip injections in his front butt. He didn't earn it. He didn't
dodge the draft.
Yeah, he didn't eat for it. He didn't eat for that front butt. It's all injections. But yeah, but I was really happy. I was really happy that the Ahsoka show is moving forward. That things are going on with it right now. Because I was afraid that with the strike jazz and stuff like that, and maybe it's not realistic to be, but it was a fear I had, was that they may like slow it down and be like, whoa, let's just be cautious and not waste money, and we'll get moving on it like when things are a bit clearer or whatever. But they are going forward optimistically, it sounds like.
You goddamn right we are.
I guess, and not that like not that like Disney is in control of the actual industry itself entirely. Like a lot of the issues aren't primarily about Disney necessarily, from what I can gather anyways. I could be wrong. Somebody from Disney wants to hit me up and tell me otherwise. I'll listen. But yeah, right. But but I mean, but putting stuff out there for them and telling them all of this stuff is coming your way probably makes you really not want to vote for that strike. Right? You know what I'm saying though? You're like, oh, that's a lot of money.
Thing you've ever said.
Yeah. It's
hold on now. You can pee in bottles. That's how my Amazon shit gets here.
Hey, Howard Hughes was a great man who did great things for the country, and he pissed in bottles constantly.
Leonardo DiCaprio hasn't stopped pissing in bottles ever since he played the role.
And I don't know if you
Good.
guys are aware of this as an industry insider. I could tell you, the Ninja Turtle was named after DiCaprio. Sorry, sorry, but I mean,
You know, the fifth turtle was Filoni. He wore the cowboy hat.
he was a he was a he was a
He was
great
a West
animator.
Coast turtle. He was the other Italian.
Chris DM'd me like 5 times last night going, "What's the Mando that you think's gonna be a spinoff, Jason? What's it gonna be, man?" And I was like about to tell him. I'm like, I'm not gonna tell him. And then I was like, well, let's just put it this way. I used to play Brian May guitars when I was rich and I could afford nice guitars like that. And I was played Brian May guitars, and I had to get a backup one live. And I was like, I found another Brian May guitar, and boy, was it pretty, but it suck. It sucked. It was some guitars are just bad, just a bad apple. This was a bad apple, but it was black and gold, and fuck, did it look cool. And so I got it, and I hated it for the whole time I had it. But boy, does a black and gold Mando look fucking sweet. Just gonna throw that out there.
It's Hondalorian. They're gonna bring Ford back in a helmet, and it's gonna be the Hondalorian.
He's like, "Hello, I'm very fancy. I'm here to. This is the way. Money's the way."
They were gonna call me Hondo, but that shit was taken. Or maybe Hondo survived. It's Hondalorian, right?
No,
he's
Hando. They actually go with the hand pronunciation on that one.
Han, not Han. Hondo. Fuck. Why did we make a Han and a Hondo? Like, it's so confusing. I just go Laura Dern. I know. Like,
Laura Dern. Yeah. Laura Dern it, more like it, right? What was that about? No.
looks good in that dress. I like the dress.
I actually like the character. It's kind of funny because she is as ridiculous as Princess Leia is. And I say that lovingly, but like when you see Princess Leia in the sequel trilogy, she's now General Leia, and it diverts some of the attention away from the fact that Princess Leia is oftentimes pretty fucking regal for a rebel fighter, you know? But
Mon Mothma wore fucking something right out of the Muppet Show ballroom scene.
But you know what? What's really cool about Mon Mothma is she's in Cassian. Do you know that? Did you know that? No, that she's in Cassian.
But there was a rumor about that. Yeah.
You know, it was official. Just nobody noticed. And but she wears nothing under that robe, like nothing. like Mon Mothma is a freak.
She's perky.
Yeah, that's like
she got her Sandy Duncans.
Do you know how the Bothan spies died, bringing her the information?
No.
Asphyxiation. It went too far. You're supposed to have
like David Carradine. Damn.
Yeah. And the weird part about it is she liked to watch it, and she saw them slip into the puppies die. She watched the puppies die.
No.
Yeah.
This is horrible, bro. This is like the worst dodo I've ever seen.
You know,
Star Wars dodo is really hard to watch. Like,
yeah. I think puppies are where I finally was hanging out with internet edgelords, and somebody sent me High Heels and Puppies, and I never opened up another internet link again.
Oh, no.
That remember when there was like all the Two Girls One Cup edgelord kind of shit ruled the day. That shut down the edgelord frontier for me, but I will always be fond of cake farts. Always be fond of cake farts. I hope to think those girls are still out there just farting on cakes somewhere.
I'm pretty simple. I just like those photos of people who write definitely no spiders in here on the pies. Like, that's my favorite thing. Or when they wrap up a box and mail it, and definitely no spiders in here, and it's like poorly wrapped. I love that. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Same.
Well, that's cool. I mean, I do think like, do you think? Oh shit. If you can't say it, I don't know. If you can't say it, that's worse.
I don't know. I don't know what I
If
could say.
how about this? If you don't know it, just make up something so ridiculous so no one
Okay,
will know, right? How about that?
that's
Do you
fair.
think they'll spin off a whole different Mando series? Like, you think
Yeah.
that's in the cards?
Yeah, the impression, and to be clear, I don't know what those other shows are that haven't been announced. I don't know what they
Right.
are. So, and I don't know if anybody on those crews do either, for that matter. But that they are being told 10 shows, guys, 10 shows. 10 shows here. They don't send people from Los Angeles over to Pinewood
I
unless
hope
they.
it's live action because I just
Oh,
think like,
no, this is filmed in Manhattan Studios.
okay, all right.
This is on this is down the street from me. Yeah.
Right, because I mean, look, I'm not gonna shit on the Bad Batch. It's a fine cartoon. It's, I mean, you
Sure.
all things considered,
Yeah.
you know, with the amount of content, like it's much better than a lot of other stuff. It's the number of shows. I just can't get my head around why I'm watching 62 episodes. It's like I've been working on this Power Rangers commission thing, and it's not my property. But
Mhm.
there's like 52 episodes in one season. And
I
I've come to find out they were only getting paid $600 an episode because it was non-union.
I saw
Yeah.
like I don't care about people's birthdays. Like if it was your birthday, Rob, I care about your birthday. Like people I know, like cool. But when it's like somebody famous, I don't care. But I did see a thing that made me feel like I was about to die, and it was like the Pink Ranger's 52 today, and I was like, really? What?
She looks quite good though. Like,
Is she holding up? Is she holding
Oh
up?
yeah, yeah,
Nice.
yeah. No heavy drug use, no heavy alcohol use. You know, plus they were all like acrobatics and stuff,
Yeah,
right? Like
they were
gymnasts and
all
stuff.
like
Yeah.
fit, like yeah,
So
little
they're
monkey.
all the ones that are still alive are all in pretty good fucking health. You know, all of them.
Right.
None of them have none of them have gone Marlon Brando or. Look, I fear for DiCaprio. Like he goes up and down. It's that fluctuation that I always like fear for people because it really can mess up your thyroid.
Hmm.
So it's like, you know,
Wait. How is DiCaprio fluctuating?
because he puts on weight and
Oh, he
drops
does.
weight. Like, yeah,
Okay.
like he'll drop weight when he needs to be in a Scorsese film, and then, you know, you see him on the yacht 6 months later. It's
Oh,
like,
right. Yeah, partying
you know, it's
Jason
that
Ward
stuff.
style. That's how I
Yeah,
party
so
too. We're like the same guy, pretty much.
you should see me and popcorn during COVID. It was not good. I just I definitely put on 20 pounds just on popcorn alone. Like,
Oh, song recommendation of the day is called "Jack from Titanic." Check that out. It's
oh,
great.
speaking of song recommendations, so YouTube makes these auto mix lists based off stuff, right? You listen to if you like, or videos.
Mm-hmm.
And my video was Cybertronic Spree, Moo Fresh, Work, and then that Kitster song. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, that is one hell of a weird ass way to live your life, bro.
Yeah. On Trevor Moore's on the Trevor Moore show that he did for the YouTube and Comedy Central, he had I was thinking of it a second ago because it's funny that you mention it. He had a girl on who was like psychic and talk to aliens. He would get unique people and interview them about their unique
Sure.
perspectives on life. But she has this moment, and it is the scariest thing I've ever heard in my life. If it happened, she says, "Yeah, I had my whole face swarmed by ants." And he's like, what? He's like, go back. And she's like, I took a bite into a donut and it was just full of ants and they just swarmed my face and went all in my face. And I was just calm and cool through it.
You want to hear my take? This
Mhm.
would be the greatest new Batman villain, Ant Face.
Ant face.
And it's just a guy who wears a suit, right? He's
Yeah.
perfectly clean. He's super like no dirt, germ, whatever, but he's just got ants all over his face.
Yeah.
And then when he wants to get you, like they form like a tether and grab your face. And then like devour you. Like you never see us, they never come off. They're just moving around at Ant Face, dude.
and it has to have like the fucking like stupidest, like moralistic backstory. Like
He's a germaphobe.
like no, his wife is having a baby and she's like, what his name is, I don't know, Arnie, because it reminds me of Ant almost. So,
Arnie.
she's like, Arnie, I want you to go out and I'm pregnant. I need strawberries. And okay, you old hag. And he goes out, he's like, I'm gonna get myself a jelly donut first. Puts himself first. That's his first mistake. Then he eats the bites, goes to get himself a jelly donut before his pregnant wife, and then the ants swarm his face. He becomes ant face. He goes home. She screams. She has never seen such a monster, and he runs out like Frankenstein, crying into the night. And then he swears off all of Gotham after that, and he just does bad stuff. That's how it would be in the 70s, probably. 70s Batman. That's kind of like how
I
the
see.
Batman-
If it's a 70s Batman, though, I feel you have to work in an ant farm. Like he was that guy that liked to shake up the ant farms, but one day the ants were like, "Fuck you! I'm shaking you up!"
Whoa! You almost erased yourself from existence, Marty. I'm
back.
Oh,
I'm back.
Dude.
Darth Vader came from the future and told me that if I don't ask Lorraine to the dance, he'd melt my brain.
I keep hoping I have to hook up with Leah Thompson to save your life. Like I keep hoping that's
Can
what
she
I
wear
have.
the fake boobs? It's not that I want bigger. I just like the fact that she still has them.
No, I mean I wonder.
Or have they fallen apart like the turtle face? If you know that turtle face, the foam. Like, is it?
Yeah. Or a Hoggle. You've seen Hoggle's face from
Oh, no.
Do you think Marty ever like sat down and he's like, Dad, I gotta tell you something. I traveled through time. In one reality, you were dead, and I was so sad. And Mom was married to Biff, and she worked in a casino, and she had these really big boobs. And he's like, Marty, can you take me to this other dimension? I mean, George McFly Party is Crispin Glover.
Do I have an album? Yeah, you do.
You do.
Yeah. It's sort of like it's interesting. I think A24 should adapt that album like into a movie.
A24 should just make movies with Crispin Glover all the time. At the end of the day,
he should be like, that lion, the MGM lion. He's their guy. Just hey.
Yeah,
rats.
No, what I find like interesting about that guy too is when he like talks shit on Back to the Future. I totally understand where the studio was coming from on a lot of the stuff and the creative decisions that they made. I don't think they made bad creative decisions mostly. You know what I mean? Like generally speaking, they were the right decisions for that. That movie's still around for that reason. And but when he makes his arguments against it, his arguments against about why they're wrong are always good. Like he always has a super crazy but totally valid point from a very weird perspective, though. But I'm always like,
yeah. But then when you get him on set, he's like the psychotic version of the Michigan J Frog, right? Like he's like totally normal in an interview, but then on set, whoa.
Yeah, you've hired him.
Now, if we could just get Crispin Glover and Jared Leto on a Joker film, my God, the stories like Josh Trank directing like that. Yeah. That'd be my jam.
That would be a good time.
So, anyways, back to the Star Wars shows. So Filoni played the long con, right? The long card, like live action.
I have to assume Filoni and Favreau have a lot to do. I mean, I'm not a Favreau expert. I've seen most of his stuff at some point. I saw that movie with the chef guy and I enjoyed it, but I actually don't remember it now, so I should probably watch it again. But I don't know if at some point does he go, okay, I've done it, enough's enough, or is he like Star Wars is what I kind of got, what I always wanted to do. It's why I got into making movies, and I'm never gonna like Dave Filoni. Like if you asked me in 2008 when Filoni came aboard, will that guy be here in 2021? I'd be like, no, he's gonna do it and get the fuck out and go on with his career and be happy that he did it right, like what JJ should have done. That's what I would have with the first one. Like that's what I would have assumed. That was the right move. Do the one and done and do it good and get out. But Filoni clearly loves Star Wars and probably doesn't have any intention of leaving. He wants to just keep developing Star Wars content. And I don't know if that's Favreau or not, but it's got to be more fun making a new Star Wars show than making like the Jungle Book or something, I would think.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like he is bringing the one thing Favreau brings to the table that has been missing is the technological pushes, right?
And the cocaine, baby.
Filoni's we got that. We got Rick's locker.
He's
Ooh.
They keep giving me fat guys because they don't do cocaine or they wouldn't be fat, would they? But it ain't gonna work. Filoni Jr. That is Filoni Jr.
Do you think
Allegedly Filoni Jr.
when Filoni Jr. got the show deal, do you think he goes home and goes, and what do you think he puts on the music? Like, like does he go home and start doing the Fanta song, or does he put on like I just want to know, how do you celebrate? Like he had to celebrate when he got it, right? He had to be like, all right. Does he call George up? Guess what? They did.
I think Filoni, like he has this hat on and his jacket, and like he's like driving probably like a Range Rover or some stupid shit like that, and he like pulls up into the garage, he hits the button and it opens up and he goes in, he closes the door, he takes off his jacket, hangs it up, takes off the hat, puts it on, then he takes the silk robe and he puts on the silk robe. He holds his hands up like
the
this,
Ric Flair robe,
and it comes on, and like you just see his little titties right here, and like the robe just goes like over, and he's like, now you can't see him, and then he goes, Siri, play it, and Siri's like, I don't know what to do, and he goes, play it, and then it starts playing some like Japanese J-pop that's super upbeat, and he just dances in a robe with no shirt on, his little Filoni baloney's hanging out, and then he runs himself down, and then Kathleen Kennedy gets on the video call and he's like, yeah, I think we should make an Ahsoka Tano show. She's just like Crispin Glover.
Oh, this was before he knew. I thought this was after he found out.
No.
Like,
This is
when you
daily.
find out, you get the big news. Oh, daily.
This is daily. Wow. Yeah, this is. He takes the good with
That's
the bad.
confirmed.
It's the same. It's meditative. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nobody knows, but that guy is different.
Favreau's like, I'll stay on, but I get to live in Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, right.
I live there now. It's like Walt had that apartment. I got a pod. Like I got a slave hovel. Whatever. Make Anakin's room. I always wanted to live in Anakin's room. Like,
we summoned Ant's Galactic Multiverse. He's all, I'll be Ant Face. I'm down.
That is great. Ant's Galactic. Now I want Ant Face in the Batman sequel in 2030, whenever they fucking make that thing.
Well, I'm looking forward to the time when like they hire the Jared Leto, whatever the fuck his name is, onto like, like I wanted to be a Sith Lord, so I started sending used condoms and tampons to Dave Filoni and Kathleen Kennedy every day to let them know I'm a Sith Lord. Like,
turns out that. George has been doing that for years. I just got a taste for him. Like I just eat him now.
Yeah.
He told me better to hide the evidence or dog will get you. Anytime dog shows up, I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
Yeah, his story ain't gonna end pretty. I've been a wrestling fan since the 80s. I know how this goes.
Yeah, he's all George Lucas ain't so great. He once paid somebody to let a dog eat a girl. Whoa! And I didn't mean like that. I mean,
Peter
like,
Mayhew was like, "That's code."
Carrie Fisher mustache rights to Mayhew.
Shut up.
Yeah. I wonder.
Time, man.
I got to talk to Mayhew a few times, like. And every time mostly through text messages and stuff like that. And in person, he was usually in a very bad mood. And I had seen, and not knocking it, he had health problems and all kinds of stuff. But he's usually in a bad mood. And I was like, I'm not going to approach him right now. I can tell he doesn't feel good. It's not going to be pleasant for him. So I'm just not going to do it. And then
I always imagine he sounded like the guy that was helping them do the concert in Wayne World 2. And then his heart out. We don't talk about that.
Yeah, but
okay, all right.
But I mean, when you get down to the fact that guy was Chewbacca in the rockin' 70s, you think Mayhew was just like slaying it? You think
Kenny
he was?
Baker was. He has illegitimate children.
Kenny Baker
Hey, that is the one that blew me away. When I found out he had illegitimate children, I was like, that guy is, he got around.
If you don't tell Kenny Baker he can't come in you, he will. If he ever comes back to life, just a heads up.
No.
You need to talk to Kenny Baker about where
he goes, no, I'm in you, and he pops out like a chest burster. Like, I told you, whoa. I've been watching too much Wayne's World.
Time Bandits 2.
Yeah, I know he passed right a while back, so there was no way he could do like the Emperor role on Life's Too Short. Like, wouldn't that be great if he was like the rival?
Yeah,
like the rival too. He was actually really good, and everyone loved him. And
yeah. No, his birthday is the day after mine, but I have the same birthday as Ray Park. Do you have a Star Wars birthday? Do you know?
Today's Carrie Fisher's birthday.
Today's Carrie Fisher's birthday?
Yeah. 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 I knew some shit you didn't know.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I see your birthday. It's today.
Yeah, no, like I find it completely weird. I mean, like I said, it's nice when your friends tell you happy birthday, but I find it completely weird when you see somebody going like, "Happy birthday, Alec Guinness." Alec Guinness don't give a fuck. And Alec Guinness doesn't know you.
That is a very red letter media moment, right?
Happy birthday, Alec Guinness.
They should do a birthday show. They just wish dead people birthdays, and they're kind of uncomfortable. Like,
Uh-oh.
Happy birthday, Chris Benoit.
Oh no. Uh-oh. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it's can we just retitle the show Happy Birthday, Alec Guinness? You're watching Happy Birthday, Alec Guinness.
Should not have made that joke. It's so wrong. My buddy posted a picture. He had met Chris Benoit like just 2 years before that happened, and he got him like in an chokehold, and I'm like, you were this close to being actually taken out, dude.
Yeah. I think it was My Favorite Murder did a breakdown of the Chris Benoit situation. It's really good, by the way.
Oh yeah,
it's a really good. My Favorite Murder.
Okay, all right.
Have you ever heard that? Have you ever heard that podcast before?
No.
I like true crime, but I like it really can infuriate me and actually be rather boring at the same time. But My Favorite Murder easily is probably the best, if not one of the best true crime podcast ever. And the relationship between the two hosts, one is more sensitive and kind of quirky, and the other one writes for Hollywood and is extremely funny, and like cutting. One's sort of like a real Gen Xer, and the other one is a little bit more of a millennial in essence, I'd say. And so the conversations and the perspectives are usually really good. And but I believe that there was they did one on Chris Benoit, and it was super good about how they were just tripping balls and stuff, and like the drugs and the hallucinations and everything. And is it sad about the child though? That gets fucked up. But
it does.
Yeah.
It's bringing the show down, Jason.
So, hey, I already brought up Puppies in High Heels. We're there. We're there today. You know what I mean? But one thing I want to talk about is like when I was growing up, Ahsoka Tano, like if you watch the first seasons of Clone Wars, it's like a 12-year-old boy. And then the SJWs came in and they made Ahsoka Tano a girl. Like Rosario
the guys
Dawson.
have the tentacles, right? They all have the same head thing.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking a second ago, like, wouldn't it be funny if somebody watched all of the first season of Clone Wars thinking that was a boy?
Michael did. What?
Oh no!
No, he's got bee-stung lips.
Filoni's like, I'm gonna make a character who's like a bee man, goes buzz buzz.
He's a ghost. He's called Boo.
Can you imagine if Kenner had just continued making Hammerhead and Snaggletooth and Greedos? There would have eventually been like Buzz Buzz. I guess He-Man kind of did that.
Like the He-Man thing where they went too far with the names. Like that was funny when on the Toys That Made Us, they had like Tom Kalinske and all the guys that worked on it. And they were like, yeah, we just went too far with the names. Like they were.
I think they went just right though. Stinkor, come on. Mossman. Stinkor and Mossman are super fun. My favorite as a kid was Manny Faces though. That was a fun
Yeah, everyone
toy.
loves Manny phases.
That was a fun toy.
Phases. Yeah.
Yeah.
The puns.
Yeah.
But apparently you can only do punch for like 3 years before it goes out of business. That is the rate.
I believe they could have kept it going if they had really put their back into it. You know,
That movie did not help.
oh, that the movie killed it.
Yeah.
I think the movie, it was just like always, what's the next thing? Like, I mean, people will bag on it, but remember when they did those really shitty like comet meteor men, like it was like a rock, like a
The
transformer
Rock
rock,
Lords.
the
It's
rock lords.
GoBots. GoBots, the Rock Lords. Challenge or whatever. There's the movie, the animated film they put in the theaters. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like shit like that was awful, but we were totally into it. We were like, everybody was like, yeah, cool, but it just the shit didn't go anywhere was like the problem. And so like
Yeah, we didn't hate on it. We would just be like, all right, you know, like
there was just no
I would prefer
continuity.
a jet, but it's a rock. Like,
Yeah.
I'd prefer the jets, but I mean, it's the new toy. You know, you like to if you got it, you take it to school and show it off for certain.
Yeah. So Nolan, was able to confirm last night, with beyond the shadow of a doubt, that Ezra Bridger and Thrawn and Hera Syndulla. I don't know if Hera was out there. I can't remember. I don't remember anything on Hera because
She's out there.
she's out there. Hera and Sabine.
She's like Marianne Williamson. You know what I mean? Like,
they are in the Ahsoka show, and it's going to be filming until late next year. So that tells you when you could start to expect it, which is not in 2022.
You think they're going to release an Indiana Jones film and a Star Wars film the same year? Because I do want to talk about this. So DC fandom happened last weekend, and it was
more like fan don't, right?
I don't know. Like,
I'm just kidding.
People go, it's a waste of 3 hours, but I remember spending 3 hours in line for Splash Mountain once in 1990. So I think that was a bigger waste.
Wait, are you telling me that people who watch comic book movies might have some spare time that they could really just give 3 hours on this trivial?
It was a bummer because the year before I watched it I had my buddy on the phone because we're old. And so we watched that last one with the Batman.
Was that the Crank one?
Yeah.
Wait, the Crank was here.
I have the Snoopy phone actually. It's where the
this.
Snoopy, you hold it up. Yeah, the Snoopy phone. You speak into his nose and shit. But my buddy died, so he wasn't there this year. So and when it was happening, I'm like, damn it, I can't fucking someone I could talk to him. My buddy Brandon, who is a DC fan, he works out, so he was like, I'm working out. I'm like, fuck you, I'm fucking working out. So I was just sitting there watching it, commenting to myself. Like I was giving myself what we do here. Like talking to myself, like I'm getting into that age now. But I was like, "Are you talking to someone? Just me, no one else."
Yeah.
Anyway, but Patty Jenkins came on and said that she was gonna make Wonder Woman 3.
Mm-hmm. All janky like.
And I was like, "That we're so close to the rescheduling with all the Marvel and DC and Disney films, right? The fact that those dates didn't get near December 2023, but maybe that's because they don't want to say it's being delayed. I don't know. I gotta wonder if that movie's actually coming out on time, because she'd have to be shooting behind camera by May or July of next year at the latest.
Yeah, I haven't looked into that one or heard anything about that one in a bit, but people keep saying that Acolyte is filming early next year at Pinewood, and I would have been, and I'm not saying one thing is true or not or anything like that, but that I was under the impression that was going to be filming early next year, and so I don't know.
So when they pushed Indiana Jones to 2023, I'm like, it's because is it because they're losing a Star Wars film?
Or yeah, I see. I don't know. I don't know if they would. I mean, I could just tell you from just looking at basic metrics on my site and here that like the Indiana Jones, I don't think they cannibalize one another, and I don't think and there is overlap, but I don't think it's an either or. I think the people who like Indiana Jones because of Lucasfilm will see anything Star Wars already. So. But it's like how much space do they get to release films where they don't start stepping on their own toes, obviously is the big issue. But yeah, Indiana Jones, man, that one getting pushed is super weird. And I do feel though that you're not wrong in essence, whatever the whatever it may be. I think there's more to it all than we can see at the
Something
moment.
got canceled.
Something changed.
Something changed, and they've done a good job of like masking it, right? Like they
Yeah.
did. Like they that must have been an interesting, like, you know, when you get your friends around. What's that game? The board game, Risk. Like it's like movie Risk, right? Like got all the Dick Filoni's in there and Feige's in there and Bob Chapek's like, fuck all you people, I'm eating KFC. Like,
So I'm gonna maximize the park stuff, taking away all the cool stuff from Galaxy's Edge.
he survived solely on Dole Whips. That's how, you know,
Yeah.
Chapek's lives. But I mean, like they shuffled it in a way that people can't figure out what it is yet. But that's gonna happen at some point. There was a fucking reason for it, and it's not. It's not just because of, you know, the pandemic and stuff. Like, I don't think that that's totally it. So
Yeah, I obviously like we don't know, like on Patty Jenkins' Star Wars movie. We don't know what the pitch was. We don't know necessarily. I mean, fighter pilot stuff, right?
pigs
But
in space.
yeah, it's like who knows what it is, and who knows what the angle is that's gonna be like, oh
Gamorreans
shit,
are gonna be the leaded. It's pigs in space. Like, guys, like,
Pigs in space
no
is
one has
good.
had a heroic Gamoran guard yet. Like,
Yeah.
when you see that Gamoran guard in an X-wing, you're gonna be like,
Actually, I was going to go somewhere else with this, but I want to talk. I want to talk a little bit about Gamorrean guards in Mandalorian season 2. I like my Gamorrean guards fat. I don't like those Gamorrean
Yes.
guards that much.
Oh,
I mean,
burly one.
the two fighting in the arena at the
Yeah,
beginning
I
of the
like that,
season,
though.
that's fine. Like those were like ripped, like Gamorreans that were like fighters. They weren't just like Jabba's guards eating chicken all day, right? But when we get to later on, when we get to Bib Fortuna, they're the same. They're the same ones, like the same design, body type, and everything. And it's like, number one, it's not that hard to get a fat guy to be a Gamorrean guard. Let's just be. I mean, you guys could do it, but and I had to rationalize it.
I'm gonna be a mean guy for a second.
Yeah,
Why
I'll do
not?
it. I'll
They
do
just
it.
Take the 501st out the armor. Like,
Yeah.
And now there you go.
There you go.
It works.
Hey,
See, they go thunk. They get, it's a tight fit, but it
Yeah.
slows them down.
like a sausage in a roll.
Like when a cat shoves himself into like a cup, right? Like,
yeah.
it's like that.
But I rationalized it to myself that Bib Fortuna isn't feeding his Gamorrean guards right. He's such a slime ball. He's not even feeding the Gamorrean guards right. And that's why Boba just able to walk right in there and kill him, no problem. Nobody gives a shit, you know. That was kind of like my rationalization for it. But Gamorrean guards are funny when they're fat. Then they're big old fat pigs.
Yeah, and they
not-
got snot and drool.
Yeah.
and stuff, right. You get
Yeah.
that, like that. Ugh,
Like
you know?
Filoni's like, I want Gamorrean guards, but this time they fuck. God, come on, Dave Filoni Jr. Yeah,
I want to get a little ball in his mouth with the back strap.
Like I'm trying to be like George Lucas now. And I'm just thinking, like, what if Gamorrean guard went to 24-hour fitness for like a year, 6 months?
Orange Theory.
I heard he won't. I heard he won't get on to the set unless he's taking a bath in a vat of Orange Julius. Star stuff, man.
George wanted to put a Gamorrean guard in Howard the Duck, like all in the tub, you know, like.
George thought it would be
Marvel
hot.
made him cut it.
So he thought it would be hot if Howard the Duck and Leah Thompson made out with the pig too.
That was very similar to experience I had on the honeymoon.
Poor George.
I don't appreciate you just jumping right into that voice.
Happy birthday, Alec Guinness.
Yay, happy birthday.
I bet you George Lucas like called Alec Guinness at one time and was like, happy birthday, Alec Guinness. And he was like, who the hell are you?
Fox stole something from me when I pitched to Alan Ladd Jr. Star Wars. I pitched him a TV show called Married with Marsha, and
Yeah.
and they kind of stole that one from me.
I mean, I do my mental idea behind George Lucas is like two things actually. One is like he's being a dad and he's not doing films as much and he's just being like a really great father and making toast for his kids in the morning before school. And then the other side is that he's just Al Bundying it. He's just like has his hand and he's just like it could go right. Return of the Jedi Part 2.
Yeah, whoosh, like
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
Oh, I could do the Bundy laugh,
Yeah.
I saw shoes.
That's pretty good.
The more I look at him, like, yeah, my wife looks at me, I'm like, his mannerisms were burnt in at a very early age,
Yeah.
I don't share his conservative beliefs, but I do appreciate the struggle in that family. Everyone has a struggle. That's what I like. Everyone has the even the neighbors. The only one who has it easy is Buck, the dog. Like, that's about it.
Yeah.
And that's the way it should be.
I always liked when Buck talked. That was always the best. When you got
they added the Cheech Marin voice, or no, they added. No, they did. They added a different voice. Did they change the voice?
I don't know. I just remember it being like a guy who's like, "Hey, I'm just a dog. Why are you looking at me?" Kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like
season 4 or 5, they started doing that. It was good.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say was George Lucas and all that stuff. Like I do wonder what that guy was really doing all that time. Like I don't know if he was like really just busy running like Lucasfilm and ILM. Was it just endless meetings of like James Cameron wants to make Terminator 2 and we need to make the deal, and he would go into those meetings. Like, what was he? Because I mean, like your kids go to school, then you got a couple hours every day to do whatever you want. And also, when you're rich as shit, you can like literally have your kids brought to you and nannies.
Joe
and
Dante
stuff.
kept pitching me shit. It was every fucking day with Dante.
Dante.
Yeah, he wanted something like Gremlins, but like glowworms.
He's all
bringing them in.
A George joke. You know what I call Gremlins? What's that, George? Dante's Peak. Oh, shit. That's so dumb. That's the stupidest thing I've
ever said. I like it.
97 George, you were hilarious.
Yeah, I was a rabble rouser.
Yeah. But we haven't. We were hearing like about hires that were coming aboard on Rogue Squadron. Remember, like there was like, oh, we got like our director of photography and stuff like that, and like that stuff was coming about, and it was I believe most of the hiring were very obvious. It was people she had worked with on her previous films, but we haven't really heard anything like that in a long time. And they're
nothing from the films.
Yeah.
Nothing from aside from that little trailer they did at the streaming celebration thing.
Well, the last thing we heard was Taika. And the Taika thing was also interesting in the sense that he said
a leak or an official announcement.
It was official. It was him. He was talking and he was talking about like the difference. But he also said he was just starting now, which is what he said like a year before almost.
Right. Yeah.
It was almost the same quote. But I keep wondering about that one, if it has the same writer aboard, or has that writer since left, because they were toting a writer who was like an Academy Award winner. And then we haven't heard anything about her being involved at all either. But it just may be smart. It just may be like in the sense that it like that attention. She doesn't need Star Wars attention, and it might just be like, don't push me. I don't want to be known by that fan base.
Well, I was just interested to see what caused the shift, right?
Yeah.
So, because everything after like around late 2023 on forward seems to be on no shift. So something happened. But I'm just saying, if they're not filming by next summer.
Oh no! I should have a pretty good word on when filming is gonna commence. And one thing though that is too is like what was going on. There were Pinewood rumors or I know it's true, but there was stuff going on in Pinewood about the COVID and different outbreaks and stuff like that. And who knows what the schedule like when those films have an outbreak like that and stuff gets pushed back and things like, do they get that time back? Like, is it, I mean, I know they're all insured, but like, or, does everything get pushed? Do they get to keep space longer? And like, so yeah, who knows what that ends up being. And, but at this end, I was taking the perspective of you can easily do a Star Wars movie and an Indiana Jones movie in the same year. I don't think those things step on their own toes, but maybe Lucasfilm wouldn't do that. Maybe Lucasfilm doesn't want to have
Well,
to deal with that twice.
If they don't, they're stuck with, they got to push it to next summer, or arm wrestle James Cameron for that 2024 Christmas slot. So
Yeah,
which I don't think they'll do. So
yeah, yeah. Star Wars. But let me ask you this though: like, if you had Avatar or Star Wars come out like in November, and then you have like Avatar come out, do those things cannibalize themselves, or do they
marketing slots is the problem, and
the marketing
window.
bus
So
like
now
bus stops and all that kind of shit would still have Avatar stuff or Star Wars stuff, and yeah.
Now I'll say this: Avatar merch didn't do so well. We had that, so like, I wasn't at the company at the time when that movie came out, but all my friends were, so they let me know, your fucking movie didn't sell shirts. I'm like, well, fucking The Big Lebowski wasn't fucking selling Christmas merch too, but that don't fucking mean nothing to me. So like,
Yeah.
it's not the same movie. I get what you're saying, but not everything's a fucking Transformers. But there is that marketing window. Like, they're gonna want a big push, and this Christmas, like this Thanksgiving like thing that's just a tough window to do. So I mean, it was hard to market two Star Wars films within 6 months of one another, as you know.
They couldn't. Yeah, they didn't know how.
Right.
And no, or even like right now, like in Fortnite, they put out Dune skins, and I kind of want it. Yeah, I kind of want it, but for what it's worth, they can put out this is Ice Cream Sandwich Man. Ice Cream Sandwich Man's out today, and then I will see 15 Ice Cream Sandwich Mans that day. I still haven't seen the skins in game. I played for like 2 hours last night. I've seen it. I could buy it. I saw the little trailer spot for it.
I told you, I don't think it's going to
in game. Well. I haven't seen anybody do it, and I hope it does well. I mean, I want the medium to like do well.
I wanted Blade Runner 2049 to do well. It did. Yeah. Like, I just think like that's been my litmus test when it comes to like serious science fiction. In a major, we call them AAA games in the gaming community, but AAA movies, right? Why don't we just call them those AAA movies?
Yeah.
To do a AAA movie around a hardcore science fiction concept, I think you need that Arrival budget for that sort of thing. Like you need something down to the 100 million range versus the 200 million range. Like
have like successful science fiction. Just because of Star Wars does it have, people think it should equate with merch, and that's just like not true. Like Matrix 1 is a good movie,
right?
There's no toys really.
Kids playing with their Agent Smiths.
Yeah,
I got the Play-Doh rave party.
Yeah,
I shoot out.
Yeah, I probably saw some kid who bought a Matrix shirt from Hot Topic or something at one point. But I can't.
For that. I forgot. Like there is no. Could you get like? Do I want Mr. Anderson just in the suit with his like?
Yeah,
like the Kenner thing, right?
Oh, and now kids can now own Neo in his cubicle. It's
glow sticks come out of his hand instead of lightsabers. Yeah. Like, what was it? Remember Andy Dick? Morpheus! It's my favorite. Machines!
But
it comes with the pull the string in the back, and Lawrence Fishburne yells, "Machines! Machines! Like what's her face comes with not like this. Not like this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I mean, yeah, like that's like my point. Like Terminator never was able to make successful merch. Those figures were almost really cool. My best friend in 5th grade had all of the Terminator 2 toys, and it was like almost cool. It's like kind of weird. It was like Arnold, and you could like bust him in half, and there was like the T-800 inside, but he didn't come all the way off. What? It was so weird. But the actual T-800 action figure was good. Like that thing was badass.
Yeah, those Terminator Aliens figures that Kenner put out around the early '90s were
They were
actually
cool.
pretty well done. Yeah, yeah.
But they didn't do well. They didn't actually they didn't, there's all these excuses and reasons why. But my point is, is good science fiction doesn't equate merch. And you can make the argument that Star Wars isn't science fiction, but the fact of the matter is that Star Wars is very weird. And like rocket packs are cool, therefore we buy Boba Fett's. You know what I mean?
And you
Monsters
need
are
big
cool.
chase sequences. Like I've
Mhm.
said, if I have a real critique of Blade Runner 2049, is there isn't some big chase action sequence within that dystopian city. A lot of the marketing showed you that city, and then it was like, here's all the desert shit again. I'm like, stop showing people desert planets, man. Like you gotta. That's the whole thing. Dune's all a fucking desert planet. Like, I'm like, we've seen the desert planet. Well, it's the first. I don't give a fuck if it was the first. There was plenty of fucking space films before Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like, space still sells. Desert planets are boring unless you got a fucking pod racer or you know what I mean? Something zipping along that motherfucker. Or you got a lightsaber. Don't do it. Like, it's just getting old.
Two Sons. That's cool. Yeah. When it comes to with Dune, if I had been in charge of the design and the trailer stuff, like a lot of what they did is really, really fantastic. So I'm not knocking that, but I would have concentrated on the palaces and stuff, making those interiors like really ornate and stuff like that, and showing that off.
If they got a killer action sequence, they should have put some of that. Like, remember that first Batman teaser where he's just beating the shit out of some dude? You know, like, you got to do something that excites.
The new one?
No, the one from last summer.
The one with something in the way.
Yeah.
Did you notice that the song is in the new one too? That it continues over, but it dies out.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, I did. I know when I watched it the second time, I was like, remember when they had something in the way, and I could just hear Kurt going, because they just have like this like little sample, and it just like barely peeks through the mix, and so they're almost like meant to like run together. I think maybe.
How long before they start playing like Crazy Town songs, creepy and slow? Like,
no, never.
My lady.
Yeah,
it's like Wonder Woman 3, right? Come. Like, what's that? Lana Del Rey.
Yeah,
the Lana Del Rey Crazy Town songs.
The world's most boring version of heart-shaped box I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, I know. I'm not a fan of all this. So. Yeah. Sometimes it works. I mean, everyone wants to be Johnny Cash, right? They want to do that.
Well,
That's where all this comes from.
Every time I see Lana Del Rey, I'm like, man, she's super beautiful. And then like she'll have like a song title, and the song title is so good. It's so fucking good. And then I play the song, and I'm like, the song didn't live up to the title. It's kind of like it's almost like if like a metal band was like Hell Skeletons, and then you put it on, and it's just like, wouldn't it be nice if we were older? And you're like, no, that's not Hell Skeletons.
Sounds like Crispin Glover, actually. But like, he almost sounded like, was it the Flaming Lips song in Batman Forever, right?
Yeah.
We were like in the Riddler's room. I'm like, Crispin Glover could have pulled that thing off, I think, if he had tried.
I would say you could like Red Cross and a lot of those bands in the early 2000s before like grunge early 90s before like grunge took over. It was sort of like a psychedelic kind of like resurgence that you saw in the dirtiest, shittiest way in the Spin Doctors style. But that was in like LA, and it was kind of going somewhere cool, but then grunge hit, and it just like eradicated that. Crispin Glover was in that 60s revival, like we're wearing bell bottoms now thing that happened, and that music. And that stuff, though, it never got to do that scene never got to go its full potential, because like Red Cross was like a big band.
Was pissed off about it.
And then the drummer for Red Cross ends up joining the Muffs, which is a great band if you never heard them. And it's where it ends up going. Actually, I had a dream about the Muffs, but I don't remember what happened. But it was really weird. Anyways, the other night. But anyways, where I was going with all of this was I don't know what's going on with that movie, and I hope that we hear something about it soon. I don't really like when fans get all anxiety ridden about like somebody having like another movie under their belt or something else to like do. But after that last Wonder Woman, I don't think Patty Jenkins gives a fuck about the Wonder Woman movie. I think she like
It's hard though.
if it was
is
her
so
fault,
hard,
I don't
but it's
know.
hard to look. Here's why I say it's hard to say. There is an easy like gut reaction, like yeah, fuck that. I guess she doesn't give a shit. But Man's Gold made that shitty Wolverine movie
Yeah.
that wasn't quite as bad, but you know, it was just a stone's throw away from that. It just had better visual effects, you know,
Yeah.
and some better acting, but
Well, I don't follow DC. Was there ever any indication that it was the studio's interference that was tying hands? Is that the movie she intended to make? Is that what she wanted, or did she
I
play
don't
the
know.
game?
I know
Okay.
she didn't intend to release it the way it was released, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know how much did Gal Gadot have a lot of say in production, because like Margot Robbie had produced the Birds of Prey film, right? And tonally that film is a far left from Suicide Squad 1 and then Suicide Squad 2, right? Like it's like they just go off a different path and then come back around to it's a different tonal film. And I just wonder, maybe Gal Gadot doesn't get Wonder Woman. You
Yeah.
know, like honestly, it's the fact that no one's really taking, they just go, they don't take ownership. They go, no, it's great. Like, it's not great. You can say it wasn't the greatest or best effort. Like, it does. The Star Trek films, Leonard Nimoy is a good director. Star Trek 3 is not a great film.
Mhm.
It's certainly a shitty fucking sequel to Star Trek 2.
Right.
Right? It pays off later only because the events of that film get carried over in 4 and 6. And
Okay.
a very, especially in 6 because of the death of his son, you know, like, and then Spock's coming back and the way they dealt with that in 4 was great, which Nimoy directed. So they just had better writers on 4. He brought back Nicholas Meyer and some other dude, and they put that together. So I just want to know like who was in charge of story, who saw that through. And if that's Patty Jenkins, keep her the fuck out of scripts. Like, no
Yeah.
offense. Like, have your take, have your pitch. But I don't I like when Zack Snyder directs something James Gunn fucking wrote, it's fine.
Mhm.
When Zack Snyder writes his own scripts,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
No, I tried to watch, my buddy Eric is a huge Wonder Woman fan, was super pumped about it. And I was like, I'm pumped too. I'm going to watch it. Like it came out. So I was like, yeah. And I could not finish it. I just couldn't.
Love that
like,
first the trailer with the 80s.
I
or
love
the
the
80s
I love the I know a lot of people didn't like the Richard Donner aspects of it. I love that part of it. Like the opening of it, it's ridiculous, but it was fun. It was just so inconsistent. And then I just kept getting like lost in the movie with boredom. I just couldn't. I was like, who cares? And so I didn't finish it. So I started it over to try to give it a fair shake, thinking like it was just me. I wasn't in the mood or something. Did it again? No, about the same spot. I'm like, I'm out.
But wildly inconsistent is par for the course at Warner Brothers, you know?
Yeah.
Like that studio as a whole, not just the DC stuff. Like it's just I don't know about that studio before Pandy, you know? Like they you know, sometimes they leave a dude alone and then the next time they get way in. Like, let's be honest. The fact that they had a deal with Ben Affleck to write and direct the film and then signed a deal with another guy to relaunch something for competing projects while also doing a Joker movie, which, look, say what you want, Joker's sort of intrinsically tied with Batman. So when you're also doing like a one-off thing with a villain that's going to be central to whoever sets up another universe, this is all super it's super confusing, and none of it has changed. I don't think much of it has changed.
Yeah.
You know, that's why you get Patty Jenkins and Linda Carter announcing a Wonder Woman 3 without Gal Gadot and no clear table and no clear vision and their thoughts on the last film, and just this weird promo. It almost felt like, remember when JJ was doing those like Omaze videos for like, you know, help donate to the Force? It felt like that, but without the donation.
Yeah.
Of it. Like, what is this for? Like, I don't understand this. They're not on set. They're not in a room with stuff. Here's my script. Here's the idea, you know, like,
Linda Carter didn't invest well. So this is like the Linda Carter retirement fund.
Yeah. You know, she's aged great, you know,
Sure.
like she looks
Beautiful.
great, but
yeah.
But that's why I'm like, I don't know, man. So I felt better when they did that trailer with Patty, and you know, I like that thing they did with her and the X-Wing and stuff, and showing an X-wing in the real world was way. You've never seen George do something like that, right? Like that was
Well,
way different. Like for
well,
promoting a film, you know.
Lucasfilm would also not and has not released a DC shitburger yet.
No,
They
none
pulled
of
it back.
them.
They pulled it and fixed it instead of
Yeah.
doing that. And so that's where I'm like, number one, I completely believe Patty Jenkins can make a great superhero Star
Although
Wars
Rise
action
of
movie.
Skywalker is pretty close for me, bro. Like I'm sorry. I
No,
guess I do have to disagree with you. I think Rise of Skywalker is about the same as Batman v Superman for me. Like
really, yeah.
and
I
honestly, if I
wouldn't.
had to watch the two, at least Batman v Superman has some killer fight. It has like 2 or 3 fight sequences I can watch. Like that's a lot of bullshit. Don't like the movie. Wish I'd
Yeah,
never sat through it, you know, but I'm just saying it's got the warehouse scene, it's got the opening, and you know, Gal Gadot does some interesting fighting, but that's about it, you know. So,
yeah. The DC universe, to use the word I was using earlier, like the edge lord stuff. They're not necessarily edge lords. Like they're not, Joker's not killing kittens in it and stuff. But everything is so like dark, gritty, checkboxed, and it just so soulless
but
and
that's Rise of
very
Skywalker when they do the
and
rain and the
and
choo 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 like that Exegol
no
straight up looks like that Batman Superman fight in Gotham with
and
the
and
rain.
I love and so and that's what's funny for me is I love everything. I truly love everything about Rise of Skywalker by itself. I don't like it all together. It like all together, it doesn't work for me. You know what I'm saying? Like when he goes to Exegol, I like all the stuff there, but then they don't tell me what I need to know, the information I deserve to know in the narrative, like that kind of shit. So it's like, I love the idea of Exegol. I like how it looks. I like the design. I like the situation that the characters ultimately end up in. And like, so like, it's like if I watch it like it's a Flash Gordon serial in like 10-minute bursts, it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
You should try it without the dialogue words, you know. That's the way I intend it. Don't let them talk.
Don't let him talk.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like Williams is doing the score to Indy though, right?
Yeah, he was.
So that will be his last film. Because I was
It was.
sad when I was like, is Rise of Skywalker his last fucking film? Is this it? No new themes, just you know, like the Rey theme is great, but that's it. And there's nothing else of
Yeah,
any
that's.
note in that film of anything. You
I
know?
actually like am excited for it, and I'm hoping for the best, but I'm not expecting anything. Like
Oh,
it's like
his indie work. Does he have the
yeah,
energy? Is the question. That's. I mean, and, you know, as you get older, you could still create, but you tend to create like slower, dramatic things. You
well
know, and indie like that. Dun, 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 like I don't know if
yeah.
they're gonna have that.
I feel like John Williams has always been old, to be honest with you. But
Like Steve Martin, you
yeah,
get white hair in your 20s, and you never age.
yeah. But John Williams, like on the Force Awakens stuff, like I had really good sources on that scoring session, and a lot of the days he was, not a lot, but many of the days he wasn't there, and like he had like a guy who was like when he's not there who's doing the
Yeah,
stuff,
that bums me.
and
If
it's
he's not really into it, then just get someone else.
yeah, I think I don't see, but I don't think it's that he's not into it, and I also think that the perspective of is a 3/4 John Williams is better, still better than one really good guy usually. Um, but I am with you though. We didn't really get anything big in terms of like new music and stuff like that, and so when it comes to Indiana Jones, like you do have, I honestly think that the most
Who
sticking theme, two themes, Last Crusade is my favorite one, but the Knights little leitmotif or whatever, it's not really that good. The one from Temple of Doom is really good, but I don't know if it's super good because of that fucking video game that just played it on loop, so it's in my head for the rest of
No,
my life
I love the
forever.
movie, man.
Yeah,
Like I told you, I rewatched it. I
yeah,
like the music. I like that it's a slow, like they're like a haunted house kind of thing. The
yeah.
only really complaint I have about it, um, is that Pancop Palace is like empty.
Yeah.
but everyone's there, right? So it's I know why, but it is like they should have been like, why is the palace empty when they get there? They were just like lovely palace, and it's like it's a set,
Yeah.
it's just so weird.
But
But
but Crystal Skull used the theremin, which made that score unique and fun. Ooh, kind of stuff. And I Williams and a
only
theremin.
watched it once.
I just haven't. Oh, come on! You got to watch it again. That's not fair.
No, I know I
It's not.
don't.
It's
You
not
can't
that
make me.
bad. It's not
You
that
can't.
bad.
It's not that bad. I just gotta have the energy for this. Like anytime you watch, you're like, hey man, I want to sit down and watch this. And
I bet you if you watched it, you'd be like, wow, the first hour and 20 is so good. And then you'd be like, oh, then I hate it. But that first hour and
it's
20 is so
Marion.
good.
I can't get past.
Yeah,
I don't even care about the monkey thing or the CGI jungle
Yeah.
and shit because look, when I was a kid, I could tell Indy and them were dolls in the minecarts.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw through that effect in the 80s.
But-
It's
but-
Marion. It's Marion doing.
I'm with you. Her in the car. Yeah. But what I'm getting at is that we have John Williams doing a Indiana Jones movie in 1969. And that score
69.
Yeah, but that score, like I love his. I mean, I think one of the last really truly great scores he did was Catch Me If You Can.
Brilliant.
And yeah, it's brilliant. And like so, if we end up getting Indiana Jones meets Catch Me If You Can in some way, if we get something like that in that score, then it's going to be fucking rad. And like,
did we get this? Was it Saul Bass who did all the credits for Hitchcock? Was that what I'm thinking of? Did we get a Saul Bass style intro? Where it's like and he's like stealing the thing, he's a cutout. It's like, and each one's got the MacGuffin and it's pushing the gem up, and he's trying to get it. It's pushing the watch down.
Yeah,
it's got the time thing. All right.
They could do the James Bond open and just straight up steal it with him with the gun and the jazz, the smooth jazz playing.
This time he's like, da da da, I'm Indy.
What is it saying? Hitter saying we ain't getting an Ahsoka show without Anakin flashbacks / Force Ghost. Maybe I hope so. I think one of the opportunities that you see for Kenobi that fans, the way that fans conceptualize it, is that every day he's like, I have post-traumatic stress. Oh, Anakin, why? Like that's like a thing. And but why not Ahsoka too? And they do kind of play that to some extent in Rebels, like when she meets Darth Vader in season 2, the first episode, I think, and they fight in that Sith temple. Like they do kind of like play it and have it go there. But that's also Star Wars Rebels, which was, about as deep as a pond. And a live action television show gets to be and should be a lot deeper than an animated show that's intended for children too. And so with that in mind, I mean, that could be and should be almost like a really big burden that she carries. And when she meets Grogu, the thing that she does mention is, I knew a dude and it went really bad because he had attachments, and all of these attachments led to, this whole mess. And so what's her plight? Like, she's a Force user. She's trying to find Thrawn and Ahsoka. I mean, trying to Ezra, and they're like taking it there. So I would almost imagine that has to be something on her shoulders, right? Because when she finds Ezra, then what do? Do they just go and hang out and use the Force to feed each other grapes? I mean, that's what I would do. But Ezra Bridger and her, I don't think are going to do that. Hey, how's it going, Meg?
Bespin's turned into a coffee shop, so they hang out there. They just have adventures. They hang out at the coffee shop all the time.
Lobot, he reads his poetry, but he can't speak, so he just texts it to you. You just get
he's
one line
he's got
at
a
time.
Crush on the Twilight chick, but she doesn't know it. And she's a horrible waitress.
I am Lando's daddy, but nobody knows. Who can save me?
Vader was
My
like,
mind
you left
fading.
me, Ahsoka. She's like, we were on a break. And that doesn't go well.
Mind is fading. Going crazy. Robot, man. Okay.
I will not murder myself. What? Well, because robots murder people, but what if you're people and robot? Then you just,
Like that one.
you're constantly like, stop, robot. I
Yeah.
can't. You know.
Well, like that moment in War of the Bounty Hunters kind of annoyed me when like they throw the robot out and he's like, "Wait, I can help you," and then Lobot's like, "I'm normal again. It's me. I'm Charles. I'm not Lobot. I'm Charles." And then it's like, oh, it's like we got to get Chewbacca to turn the ship around. Chewbacca's like, "Nope."
I like that he's got Bo Derek dreads. I was like, I did not picture that look for Lobot, but it checks out for the time period.
Yeah.
He's like, Lobot. And Lando's like, stop doing that.
Oh no.
You know how
Meg.
long it is before we get back?
Meg, you might not know this about me, but like, are you aware of the Manchurian Candidate, like where they like play like a sound and then like you have to like kill like a world leader or something like that? It turns out I was programmed whenever I hear the Friends theme, I turn into a murder bot. I want to kill things, and I witnessed my father and his ex-wife, that monster, together clapping when they clapped on the show, and I fucking wanted to die. I felt revulsion inside so deep. But
It's not the burrito, I swear.
no, don't do it to me, Meg. No one told you life was gonna be this way. Clap, 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 clap. What they
Mark's
done.
like, I see Rob's in the Target Star Wars owl. Actually, Star Wars Santa was here first, but because of supply issues, he just cleaned them out. Like, I get all the toys to eBay. Like, all right, Santa. Like,
So Meg and Mark, like at the opening of the show, I just basically talked about how I've seen the like evidence, so I can jump on the pile of confirmation with Ezra, Thrawn, Sabine, and Hera. Was Hera out there? I don't know if Hera was out there or not. I don't remember hearing it because I'm curious if what's her name is playing her too in it. But Hera is definitely in it. The Ghost is in it, which is an obvious thing. But they're doing the Ghost, and so we are going to see all of that stuff. Yeah. Hera is 100% in the Ahsoka Tano show.
I mean, she's not in Rangers. Rangers canceled.
Yeah.
You see how they do the math, right?
Yeah. So anyways, oh yeah, and then they're going to be filming Ahsoka until late next year. So, a little bit after this time next year, they will be finishing Ahsoka, is what I'm told. So, in case anybody was curious about what the potential release,
May 4th, 2023.
Yeah, right. It makes so that I guess that means Mando 2022, and then 1 year from Mando Ahsoka. I think that's probably the likely scenario, but
No,
who
Mando
knows?
next year.
And you know what,
Mando's
dude?
Next year, no Mando the year after. Sorry.
Yeah, in the contents of things that I was privy to last night, I did not see anything about Mr. Aurelios. So I'm guessing he went home. I don't know, and doesn't come back. But at the same time, why not at that point? I mean, and he's one of the designs I'd love to see in live action. Like, what does the Macquarie Chewbacca look like in live action? Who doesn't want to see that? But yeah, Ghost and Hera are definitely in that show. So, just a guess. Just I don't. This is off the cuff. Meg mentions that Hera was rumored for another show. Maybe her introduction is there for this show. Like, it's like, she's coming, you guys. You know what I mean? Maybe it's like one of those things, and they found like a good way to put it in. And I forgot Chopper. Chopper is obviously there. And Chopper, we've not to like blow it off, shrug it off, but we saw him in Rogue One, so it's going to be an upgraded version of the little dude we had in Rogue One. Yeah,
They should replace him with BB-8. You know.
Star Wars Mix says that Zeb's difficult to pull off in live action. Yeah, like would they do him as a complex puppet man in suit, complex puppet like for close-ups, or would they just CGI him? You know,
I don't
but
know, man. The Ugnaught tech was working. If you keep that up, you know, probably could pull it off.
yeah. Oh, Mark Hamilton said that's what I meant, Meg. That Hera was out there in Rangers. Yeah.
Unless they do, if it finishes filming next year, and they still give it a full year of post production on CGI character, right? Like
Hmm.
I could see that, but they tend to get it 6 months out, right? Like, or no, a year. They shoot in October, comes out a year. Yeah, I guess. I just don't know, man. Like, I don't. It would be one or the other. We got the big CGI push this time. We're pushing the boundaries. We got a CGI character in every episode, you know,
Yeah.
which is cool. Or the puppet tech, which I tend to like it. If it's you know, I like that I think if they keep that thing with the facial thing where the actor can do it and it goes on set, that way they can have a stunt guy doing that and not have to worry about all the animatronics and stuff.
Yeah, the Ugnaught from season 1 of The Mandalorian. I had the scoop on that one
Yep.
on Nick Nolte, and he recorded it in a closet and stuff. A lot of that stuff hasn't all come out, and a lot of the technology. I believe Stan Winston's people made the mask for that actually, and the Stan Winston company, and there's a lot of the tech that was involved in there. They haven't even fully like really like shown in a meaningful way. I think they've kind of like hinted around it in some of those behind the scenes stuff. But I would imagine that using that with Zeb could look really cool. And I wouldn't be surprised if what, because I don't know what happens in the episodes or anything like that necessarily. And I would imagine though that like if Zeb comes in, it'll be like we need help from the old friend kind of moment or something like that, you know, and they'll bring him in that way.
And he looks
But
like Toka and Razar from Turtles 2.
yeah.
I'm them.
Mama! Like, oh shit, what did they
Oh
do?
no.
Before like, this was our original intention. It's supposed to be like this. The cartoon doesn't, it's not canon.
It's what McQuarrie always intended. Um
He used to run around Lucasfilm saying, "Who's my mama?" And I don't know.
Oh, we had to repaint all these walls. See these walls? We had to repaint all of these walls because Ralph McQuarrie used to just run around coloring all over everything.
We used to call him McCullery, you know. He'd take a crayon to anything.
Oh no, I lost Rob. Will he come back? Who knows? Star Wars Make says also, Jason, there are 2 lines in Mandalorian season 2 TV spots that were not in season 2. Oh yeah,
There you go.
yeah. Welcome back.
Hey,
There. Wait, what? So what were the 2 lines, by the way? But anyways, I'm curious to see how all of these shows now are going to talk to each other. And the other thing that I learned in the last couple of days is that Manhattan Studios is going to have way more shows than we know are announced. So I know that's kind of blank. There's like, it can mean a lot, it can mean anything, but there's more Star Wars shows out there than what we know that are being like slated, and they're trying to make space. So if you didn't see that part of the show, they're trying to basically find out how they're going to make this all work, and it sounds like they're going to be building a lot more volume studios and stuff like that, and going full in on that for a few years.
I was reading this article this morning about some town in Los Angeles that has this really bad smell because there's all this microbial shit breaking down in a canal. And they're like, yeah, it's kind of like El Segundo, which apparently locals call Smell Segundo. I was like, that would be a great George Lucas name. Smell Segundo.
So when you're in Manhattan Beach and El Segundo, that smell is kind of there. But when you get onto the when you get on the freeway to go back towards my place and you hit like that place to go around Carson, ooh, it smells bad. There's something happened. I heard something about like there being like a pipe leak and it making this really awful smell from one of the oil refinery.
That was the whole article. It was about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and but it still smells. I'm like, whoa, like it's been like a month and it still smells. But yeah, and then Mark says they're really pushing Crimson Dawn into the comics, maybe set up for a series. Yeah, what do you think about that? I mean, like when they push it in the series in the comic books, does that mean that it's coming in the show, or does it mean it's not?
I don't think they're allowed to make anything new.
But
I don't think, because if they want to make a global syndicate, right, a crime thing, they already got Huts. Well, what else do we got? They can't invent a new syndicate that's a big bad, so they use the thing that's already done. Yeah.
But when it comes to like War of the Bounty Hunters, excuse me, War of the Bounty Hunters has connections. I'm gonna cough. War of the Bounty Hunters has all these connections to Book of Boba. But the question that I have about the development is, did the comic series come up to tie into Book of Boba? Or did Book of Boba define a bunch of stuff that comic series premise then had to adhere to? Therefore,
that way,
pretending that it's a tie-in, but in reality, it's simply a tie-out.
It's this. Well, you can see it because tie out. They that's what happened on the fucking game that EA canceled. Amy Hennig and them were
the Ragtag Project.
Yeah, they had characters in there that they then put in the comics or were planning to put in the comics or whatever. And when they canceled the game, they're like, well, what the fuck? Like, we were doing all this shit to support that, right? And then it wasn't like they made stuff in the comics that they pulled from. They were pulling stuff from the game to put in the comics to get people primed ahead of time.
Yeah. Because
comics are faster. They can literally get that turned around in about 3 or 4 months. So, yeah, I think they're pulling from Boba. You know, now Crimson Dawn being a rival for Boba, if he takes over a crime thing, makes a lot of logical sense, right?
Yeah.
So,
and if they were to bring in the Khaleesi, you know, she's done some movies, but she is a cable actor, Amelia Clark.
I know the name.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, I could see that. I could see that being an interesting rival. But I will say,
Sarah Connor,
if she's like, if it's like the like really big moments, it's happening, you know, and it's like, whoa, mob versus mob, the action's going down, and then she like goes, await the dawn. I'm out.
The dawn.
I'm out. Yeah. I'm out.
I'm with you. Every time they go the dawn, I'm like, dawn.
Await the dawn, or whatever the hell she says in the thing. Like they say, it's like, are you a fucking criminal, or are you an airline stewardess who has to say that every time, or you don't get your flight back to Tallahassee paid? You know what I mean? It's like, what's going on here?
The fact that it's in multiple books by different writers says to me they got it from somewhere else. It's
no,
like
they agreed.
They conjured up to it.
They
conjured it up.
They branded that shit. Obviously, the people who marketed Solo must have come up with it.
Yeah.
Because
that's right. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I'm hazy on the whole Solo marketing. Like, I just remember Denny's and not being terribly interested. You know.
No, I mean, honestly, the fact that we remember the Solo marketing being defined by Denny's says a lot about how much they fucked it up. Because Denny's wasn't the only thing, and it wasn't the actual real push for it. But but Denny's did a better job than they did, is simply what it comes down to.
Right.
That's and Iger has taken the blame for that. For the record, he said he was the one who was pushing to do it in May and to try to get 2 in that time period. So he got greedy and messed it up. But at the same time, when George Lucas tells you to make Watto do what Watto does, you do it, and they didn't do it. They didn't
give him a gonzo nose, just limp, just a limp gonzo. That's what you just limpy. Like, I was told Frank it should be limp.
I wonder if there's like a really like tortured, disheartened comic book artist who's like, I do the masturbatory Star Wars. That's all. I'm a fluffer. I hate my life. It's not what I got into doodling.
Nobody says that, but they will now.
They will now.
You put it out in the ether.
Whoa, get a room, you guys. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. You guys are actually being nice to each other for once, so I had to say that. Sorry. She agreed with you. But yeah, fluff around the edges. And Dooku series. I would love a Dooku series. I always say young
Dooku.
yeah, but no, but young Dooku, Qui-Gon, and Sifo-Dyas, and the Plagueis stuff. That would be super
I
fascinating.
know, but his name is Dooku.
Yeah,
It's
it's Dooku, man. It means poison in
Dookie.
Japanese, bro.
Yeah,
Poison,
Dookie.
dude. Like, and that's like your favorite band, Poison.
No. Oh man.
No, I'm kidding.
Dooku.
It means Guns N' Roses in Spanish.
It means this shit doesn't work. Ah!
I think that's
what-
Dukita. I think that's Dukita. Anyways. Yeah. Oh yeah. Meg points out. Well, George Lucas pronounced it Doku.
That's what I thought, but but in the movie they say Dooku. So,
Yeah.
done.
George will also be like, you're a funny Gunga, or what is he called? Gungans. Gungans. So, yeah, because there was like times when it was written differently, so he like literally changed like the the pronunciation on those things, and then I can't keep his shit straight. Han, Leia, Dooku, Doku. Dooku or Doku? I don't know.
Filoni baloney, get over here.
He probably got hired because Lucas is like, baloney, come here, baloney.
Let me get my robe off. 1 second, George. I'm coming.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I think I was hanging out with Star Wars Santa before the show one day, and we were talking about Luke, and when it came to the other Lukes, like what the extra use, like for the clone stuff, and he was actually like sounding it out, and I realized in that moment I had never actually. I just assumed it was said the same way as Luke. It just had extra letters in it, and you were like, But when you read it, did you read Luke with the extra L's as like Luke, or were you just like straight up like it's just Luke, but it's spelled differently, so we know it's the different one? Do you remember that? Like when you got to that clone shit and like Heir to the Empire?
Oh shit. Yes. Yeah. I just thought it was the same pronunciation. I don't think people are going Luke.
Yeah. No, but
yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, I had to think about it for a second. Because what generally happens on those books is I tend to forget the endings. I don't know why. The front of the book is always the thing I remember more than probably because when I reread, I always the front more than the end, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know why that is, but yeah, I do know what you're talking about. I wish it was Big L, Little L, right?
Big L, Little L.
Big L, Little L.
Big L, Little L.
Or
the
Luke
Skywalker story.
He's the woke Luke Skywalker, right?
Tone Luke.
The Lukes of Hazard. Well, my friend, there's your next intro.
Just the good old boys. Yeah.
It's two of them. It's old Luke and young Luke together, right?
Oh, Bo-Katan and Luke Skywalker. Bo and Luke. We're ready.
Writes itself.
We got it. Oh,
Mark
and
Hamill unfriends you that day because you associated with a Confederate car.
No, their ship is a ship from the Confederacy of Independent Star Systems. What?
You know what? They're not gonna appreciate that.
they're in like Dooku's Solar Sailor.
The Dooku's of Hazard. How about that? Because that way the Confederacy thing plays a little better, right? Like,
we could just put just CGI. What's his name? Christopher Lee's face on everybody.
It's Christopher Lee, yeah, and it's just.
I want to see Christopher Lee and Daisy Dukes shorts.
Daisy Doku.
Daisy Dokes. Yeah, Daisy Dukes. Yeah,
Daisy Doku's.
she's all Lusokoga Skytano. Yeah, Sky Tano. Sounds like Brian Fantano. Or something like that.
I know what he would do if he were here right now.
Brian Boitano.
He'd slay a Sith or a knight or two. That's what Brian Boitano I really feel this. Okay. And I'm not shitting. I'm not even being like a
You should.
fucking
Is it
wise
a
ass.
lump? You should get it checked out.
Well, okay. Hold on. I'm not going to the doctor. I really think Matt and Trey Stone should be in charge of the Muppets.
Yeah.
If you think, I don't think they would do Star Wars, South Park humor, but they write, they do the skits, they understand the songs, they understand the irreverent humor.
Yeah.
And if I could pick two people in charge of the Muppets right now, I'd put those two.
Yeah.
Because the only musical I've ever gone to that I didn't fucking want to walk out of or fall asleep in was the Book of Mormon. And we saw it like I think
it's
the year before Pandy hit, like right before we went and saw it. And my wife's like, "Come on!" It goes. I'm like, "Oh, fucking musicals, man."
Mark Hamilton is on fire right now. He's all they drive the General Christopher Lee.
See,
with
I told you,
Boss Nass Hog.
It writes itself, my friend. The Dokus of Hazard.
Good job.
Look, NBC's gonna get us for something eventually.
They already did.
CBS.
My Saved by the Bell parody. They said it was their song and they wrote it in their video, and then they took it away from me.
Because the Muppets don't have musicals. Even the Muppet Haunted Mansion things, it's all right. It's not bad. It's just cool. I put it up there with Muppets in Space, that direct-to-video Muppet thing.
Yeah.
But the fact that I remember fucking South Park songs to this day, like,
yeah,
Blame Canada, like that's some fucking Muppet Show shit right there. Like I think they should be in charge of it.
Yeah. No, I really love South Park. It's just South Park dudes that I can't overall take.
Well, it's like suck. I like Red Letter Media, but Red Letter Media dudes I can't fucking stand. Right?
Same. Yeah, that's a good comparison. It's like, yeah, the irreverent humor is on par. It's funny and they have their perspective, and it's like, yeah, okay, I could, you guys are cool, but then yeah, you got the dudes that come with it, and
only Nintendo 64 game where you could pee on a snowball.
Yeah,
my favorite weapon.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I will say, what was that one? What was that game called that they put out?
Stick of Truth.
Yeah, what's it called though? What's they
South
have like
Park and the Stick of Truth, the RPG, and then they did
the other one. Crack.
Was
it? Yeah. Say it. You can do it.
Fractured Butthole or whatever.
Fractured Butthole. Yeah. Genius. It's genius.
Yeah.
Every time I see it, I'm like, man, I respect that so much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you know that what's his name from SNL who works with them all the time? Bill Hader. Did you know that he's BB-8? He's the voice.
He's the voice. Bill Hader's the voice of BB-8.
He's the.
I did not know that.
The human element of BB-8 is Bill Hader.
Did not know that.
Yeah. I was thinking. I think that guy is. I think that guy is gonna go down as like a Bill Murray, Aykroyd type of another generation. I just don't think people know it yet.
Ghostbusters, though, my friend.
Yeah, I agree.
Yet.
Yeah, no, he definitely needs that one, but he should have it. And he's one of the best dudes out there doing that kind of stuff, But at the same time, we're not really getting Ghostbusters.
Muppets Christmas Carol was in 1991, bro.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not saying who should have been in charge of the Muppets in 1991. There was no South Park or Matt and Trey then. I'm saying now, Luke, pay attention.
That Jason Segel Muppet was fucking great, though. Yeah, my thing with that one is I did think it had its heart in a better place, but I also don't really remember very much of it.
I only remember the robot connecting to the internet and it played the fax sound and everyone screaming. Like that was funny.
Yeah.
Right. Like in the car, I'll connect to the internet. The dial-up modem sound.
I wanted them to make a movie out of his puppet show from Forgetting Sarah Marshall. His Dracula, the Dracula musical that he does with the puppet.
I don't think I ever watched that movie.
Oh, it's definitely worth it. It's not like a stellar great movie or whatever, but it's pretty funny.
The mid to late 2000s, man, I was working so much.
Yeah.
I just was never watching anything. Like I'd say a good 2, maybe even 3 years where I only saw a movie every now and then. I didn't watch TV. I didn't watch any anime. I didn't watch cartoons, nothing. So
I have to find this like clip for you of another Trevor Moore conversation that he had on video, and it's where he's what's the girl who plays Meg in Family Guy, the actor?
Yeah, Mila Kunis, right?
Yeah. She's in that movie, and she casually tells him, I had my throat ripped out on that one. And he's like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, my whole throat got ripped out. And she's like, they're like, wait, you gotta tell us this. And it turns out she was like on a jet ski, and like she like hit like a bump, and like the handlebar like hit her neck and ripped her fucking throat out. And like they couldn't believe it because the movie insurance was so good that they rebuilt her throat and plastic surgery it up, and it's like you can't tell. She looks beautiful. But whenever you see that movie,
well, she's above the line though, right? So
her but they below
the line people, they just stand there and let them bleed to death.
Yeah, but they spent like millions of dollars to CGI her throat on that movie, I guess. Is what they say about it.
Crazy.
So yeah, Mila Kunis. Yeah, I liked when her and Padme were an item for a night. That was a good time for me.
You, me, and Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And how does that guy do it? I guess he's just really good looking, huh?
I don't. Well, he has that weird Burt Reynolds mustache now, so I don't.
Oh, ladies love that.
My buddy grew one of those. Showed up to my house. I opened the door. I started laughing. I'm like, shave that off.
Yeah.
What? He was like playing. I'm like, you gotta shave that off. I don't know what you're talking about. Why you gotta be mean? I'm like, because you look stupid. Like
Flanders. Look stupid, Flanders.
Hi, dealio. Here's a fucking razor. Like grow the full thing, but if you can't hit. I mean, with that thin. It just wasn't right, man. I'm like, that's why they call it creepy. He looked like fucking Paxton in True Lies. Like,
Makes I'll take that ridiculous thing off.
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't let him into my house unless he agreed to shave it. You know? And he was like, you're just being a jerk. Yeah, it's fine, but someone's got to tell you. Like everyone's thinking it, bro. I'm the only one saying it. Like, whatever.
Man, hey, how's it going, Mr. Francisco? I haven't seen you in a while. Lucas Museum or Galaxy's Edge? Which would you go to, Jason? Well, honestly, right now I've been to Galaxy's Edge a lot, so I would go to the Lucas Museum. Mac and cheese. If you like museums, though, I think it's going to be exceptional. So
I would like the crowd at the museum more than Galaxy's Edge. Yeah, I went to that Henson. Was it 2018?
Right.
2019. When I was at E3, the Skirble Center had the Jim Henson exhibit with they had everything in there, like all of his original stuff. They had like a recreation of the Muppet Show like opening that you could go in and take a photo. They had the Drew Struzan posters in there, and they had the full Skeksis, and they had a fucking centerpiece was the Labyrinth Jareth and her Jennifer Connelly's ball gown, and it would dance like it was like spinning around.
Yeah,
that was fucking amazing.
It's possessed.
Like,
it's possessed. It has the ghost of Hoggle in it.
It literally, and it just still. It's possessed by Bowie's dick. It's just the dick moving it around. Like,
yeah, you can't not look at that thing when you watch that movie. I have a lot of friends who have told me like I knew I was gay when I saw that movie. I've heard more than one of my friends have said that to me. I was like, yeah. I was like, it definitely wouldn't let you not look at it. So it was definitely gonna grab your attention.
My uncle was like, my radio show uncle was like, look at the dick. Like he wasn't subtle. First the puppet pisses in the pond. You know, look, he's taking a piss. My aunt was like, just fucking stop, man. And then when he's look at his dick, every frame, bro, my uncle would not stop. As a kid, I would have just been like, all right, but man, I wanted the crystal ball. I did that forever.
Yeah,
Trying to
those
figure that
two.
move out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like yeah.
Yeah, my my grandfather was like an antique collector, and he had some of those kinds of those things that the performers would use for them. I remember playing with for like 10 seconds and then getting yelled at, but they were like heavy as fuck. Those things that they use to like do that, they keep them really heavy, I guess, so they could really do like the flow.
My neighbors got some. They were super
Yeah,
heavy. And I remember trying it. I dropped one on my foot and screamed. Like,
yeah,
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 they had them. They were
yeah.
dirty though, because everyone's touching them.
Putting them in the butts.
I
You know, if it feels good, do
That's
it.
your fantasy wards.
If it feels good, do it. That's what I say.
Jim wanted me to do it, but I said Jagger. He ruined it.
I bet. I mean, I like to think that Bowie met with Henson and then like was like, I'm not doing a Jim Henson.
That's why
movie.
they're moving all weird in that music video.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you think's in their butts?
It's all my butt kegels. My butt kegels are under pressure.
They're literally dancing like this, and the fucking like I'm not.
Yeah.
It is the weirdest fucking video ever. I also think there's a multiverse where Tim Burton did Batman 3 and Bowie played the Riddler.
Yeah.
By the way, like I always thought he would have made a great serious 90s, Riddler type.
I always like seeing David Bowie in film, but then I also like always go like, what if we would have got another Bowie record if he wasn't doing this shit? If he wasn't pretending to be a vampire. I'm like,
He'd team up with Sting and make the most obscure Irish folklore fucking thing. He put out an album like, oh, Sting.
Yeah.
What is he singing about?
Well, you know the sketch with Will Ferrell and Christopher Walken, I think, where they're where they're in the hot tub.
Yes.
And then he's like, and then that's the night we tried Shinshi. I was kind of feeling that at one point Frank Oz and Henson ended up in a hot tub like that, talking about some form of Shinshi. They just seem like those dudes from back then. Just to throw that out there. And Bowie probably saw that and was like, oh, I'll work with these guys. These guys.
Oz, no one beats the Oz stash though. Like,
Yeah.
The Oz stash is only Bill Watterson has a stash that can rival the Oz.
He's all they wouldn't let me in the orgies until I grew this stash.
It's the opposite of the Kurtz.
Actually, it's
They wouldn't let me in the orgies until I grew the stash.
Kenneth Elliott says, Jason, what are your thoughts on the Netflix Dark Crystal Age of Resistance show? Personally, I think it's amazing and captures the spirit of the 80s film. Yeah, like I do love the original film, so like I'm not knocking it, but the original film is super fucking slow. Like I almost in a weird way wish that somebody did a really rad fan edit of the Dark Crystal and just like sped it up a lot, because like it's cool to watch the artistry, but it does make like the mistake that George Lucas accuses science fiction movies making, that people say he made with the prequels, where they choose the special effect over story kind of stuff. And there are times when I do think it like they appreciated puppetry. So like it does focus on that too much. And I feel like the Netflix show was pretty on point and sped it up a bit. So on one hand, if I was going to show somebody the Dark Crystal, I would start with the Netflix show. Honestly, even though I don't think it's actually as good, but it's
I don't know. I have some friends that work at Henson, right? And I was like, did you like it? Like, they hate it. There's a definite rift internally at that studio about the feelings on that series. I would say when I was a kid, I felt the Dark Crystal movie should have been a PBS show. If you could break it up into like 20 minutes and add a front and an end, this is more digestible. That I remember saying that when I was like 7. This should be like on PBS. I think they both suffer from that, and it's inherent in the material. It's that world building exposition stuff, right? That like the front end of the Lord of the Rings, where she's just narrating and telling you the lawn and the nothing and the none, and you're just like, fuck.
And then all I remember is when Gandalf smoked weed. And I'm like, and then like all of that stuff. Like, anyways, yeah.
But where the Netflix show really succeeds is that you have characters who go through tragic shit. Puppets die. They have relationships where sisters and mothers betray one another. and fuck shit up and get taken advantage. And I think that Dark Crystal series actually has a better moral to tell than what they've managed to do with the Star Wars sequels. You know, about power and being corrupted by power, and how power will consume everything to stay in power, even when it's over. It's clearly over for this galaxy.
Yeah.
And we will consume and destroy everything to just retain power.
Yeah, that was one of the prequels themes, was absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that show does it excellently. So
do you remember that? Remember Private Benjamin
with
Goldie
Hawn?
Hawn? Remember the like old bitch, like the bad the villain, like the old bitchy lady. I used to think the old witch from the Dark Crystal, or the opening with all the gears and shit, I used to think that was the same like person. No. I thought they were making her into a puppet.
Mrs. Peacock?
I think that might be her name. I can't. From Clue.
Yeah,
I think it might be her. Yeah, I think
it might be the same jaw, if not. I think that's Mrs. Peacock.
those same like under eyes.
She was that actress from Miss Peacock. She was in a movie called Murder by Death. Mm-hmm. Right, Alec Guinness is in it. It's basically, it was written by the dude who did Clue. It was like the pre-Clue movie.
Okay.
And Truman Capote's in it. If you haven't seen it or watched it in a while, rewatch. Bro, Alec Guinness is in it. Watch Murder by Death for Halloween.
Yeah. Okay.
But she's in there with Peter Falk, Columbo, and he's playing the Columbo role, and she's like his dame, 30s dame, and she's in love with him, but he's not into her, but he's clearly gay. He's got like muscle magazines with him and shit. Yeah. And she's like, oh, she's like trying to hide it. Like, and so, but she plays a hot woman in that movie. It's hilarious to watch her go from that, and then like 4 years later try to play like she's 70 and old,
Yeah.
Because that's how Hollywood works, right? But
my other best friend is a gay man, and he did his thesis on Tom of Finland, and I have seen more, and Bob Miser, and I have seen more gay musclemen and gay muscleman art than anybody who's not gay ever should. But it's pretty interesting though. Like when he was like breaking down his like thesis, like you get like to the back of the magazines and stuff, how they would like set up like this like communicative device for everything. It's super fascinating stuff. But it's funny that it's in that movie. I didn't know about that. He probably would. I don't know if he's ever seen it, so I'm going to tell him about it.
I believe. Let me make sure I got this right, because if I got it wrong, then
because Murder by Death is a classic. Everyone should see. Love it.
Yeah. So
I think me and Mark Hamilton need to start a new band called Murder by Death. It would be our metal band.
Beautiful. Yeah. That would be Murder by Death. My brother started a band called the UAPs.
The UAPs? Nice.
Yeah, out in Lake Havasu. Yeah. Peter Sellers plays. So I want to make sure I got this right.
His name should be UAPZ Squeezy. That should be his showman name.
So Peter Sellers plays a real racist role in this movie. He plays a Chinese detective called Wang, who has like a son who's Asian, but he was raised in, he wears a UCLA shirt and he's got an American accent, but Peter Sellers is playing. Bro, I don't care what the fucking internet thinks. Go watch the movie.
No, I mean like
something else, It
is. It's not. I'm not saying it's okay, because it's not. It's only not okay because people are dumb and think that the depictions of people are the people. And so if somebody has half a brain, they can handle it.
Well, the reason why it works is because his son is just an Asian American guy who's got he doesn't have the weird accent. So they're showing you, here's what a real fucking Asian American looks like.
Yeah.
Here's your racist stereotype. That's the genius of it. You know, You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's hilarious. Yeah.
Luke says, yo, I swear I've seen two versions of the Dark Crystal. One where Frank Oz voices the old lady in the observatory. Is this just my brain lying to me? It was a childhood favorite. Watched so much. Yeah, I don't know. I only remember the one voice for her, like the real feminine, like kind of, grouchy feminine voice.
I used to get her confused with that character in Labyrinth with the junk lady.
Oh, right.
You know, like I know it's not the same thing, but she goes into a hovel in a room and got stuff in there, and for some reason in my mind, like I'd get them mixed up when I was a kid.
Chris is DMing me black and gold, and saying he tells me he loves me, and then showing me a picture of this guy. It's not him though. It's not him. It's not the guy, but it is cool. Yeah, you will not be disappointed. But yeah. Oh wow, we are already at time. Yeah, he's all. But I figured, Luke says, I figured out if this is an actual thing or just Mandela effect. Yeah, it may be Mandela effect, unless if by some chance they did a weird TV edit of it and needed to like redub lines and couldn't get the original person back and use somebody like Frank Oz and just did like a time, like that's possible. There's weird stuff like that in the 80s, but I've never heard of it. I'm making that up. So like the TV version of Goonies.
He's too busy directing.
Later, by around that time, right after that.
He directed, Henson directed that, right?
Yeah, that was Henson directed that, and he was
he
had Blues.
Muppet Caper. No,
yeah.
Muppet Take Manhattan. That's what Oz was doing.
He didn't direct Blues Brothers, did he?
No, that's
just
John
in it, right?
Landis or whatever. But
yeah, it's Landis. He's just in it.
Yeah, he's just in it at the end, and Steven Spielberg. But
yeah.
No, he was directing Muppets Take Manhattan. Yeah, he was too busy directing. He wasn't going to be doing puppetry. He was prepping all that stuff at the same time. So
yeah.
He's
all. By that point, he's like, "I'm Yoda. You know who I am? I'm Yoda. Yoda. I'm Yoda."
All right, Piggy, get off the set. I might talk like Kermit, but you talk like the pig.
So dumb. All right, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us. Is it Friday? Or is it Thursday?
It's Thursday.
Thursday. So we will see you guys tomorrow.
Tomorrow's the black song.
What?
It's Friday.
Oh, Rebecca Black.
Rebecca Black.
Right?
I'm not good with song. I got close.
I
guess if I said the black song, it does sound completely wrong. God damn it.
This is America? What about This Is America?
My buddy texted me yesterday. He goes, The Rock in Star Wars? And I'm like, motherfucking Action Jackson and Shaft are in Star Wars. How is it not possible The Rock can make? If anyone's gonna play Dirge, it should be The Rock.
Okay.
Live action fair. Dirge confirmed. The Rock.
I will say that The Rock.
What if he's in Kenobi?
I feel about the same. Dirge is like, oh, Kenobi, why did you do that to me?
What if the dude we think is Kitster's playing Dirge? Because when he says it's like a character we see in Star Wars, he just never mentioned it was animated. They kept the same art style angles. He looks all like
Dirge.
Yeah,
looks like I
gave him the Shazam suit.
It's hilarious when 3PO calls R2 a tin can, but that motherfucker's like literally just like a tin can armor suit. You know what I mean? It's like looks really horrible. Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna read this one last comment. The only thing I could think of is that I've seen behind the scenes clips where he reads lines or something. Yeah. Have you like looked it up and like done all the like the Google research and stuff on it?
Of course.
I'm curious because I'm curious now.
We don't even do that.
No. Last time I did my own research, I got COVID. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, no.
Sounds right though. Everybody who says do your own research, they get COVID.
It's being political, Jason. No, you're just running shot his comfort. I don't want the politics unless it's a civil war at the Disney office.
Unless it's a real civil war or the Lucasfilm civil war, I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah. January 7th. You know, the day after.
Confederacy of Independent Star Systems will rise again.
The Dokus of Hazard.
Dokus of Hazard. All right. Yeehaw.
It's not about spaceships.